Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Bree if you are new here, and in today's video I desperately need to declutter my cheek products, my powder cheek products. So I have bronzers, blushes, highlights, I got face palettes. I need to go through them so badly. Every year I end up arranging this video differently. Sometimes I'll do like a top-down situation where you guys are just looking at the drawer of stuff. I'm not gonna do that today because I don't feel like sitting on the floor. I'm in enough pain as it is. So I'll include a little clip in just a second of what my drawer looks like right now with everything in it. And I'm just gonna kind of go grab things by sections and we'll declutter from there. So if you guys wanna hang out and declutter some cheek products with me, then just keep on watching. So I have one of those like old school like vanities. It's like a thrift come up that I have that I found, and so basically it's like probably like a 3.5 4 foot long, almost like desk with this giant whole length of the desk drawer, and the drawer is really thin, like probably maybe I would say 4 inches tall. Like you can't put a ton in there height wise. So I have always put my cheek products in there so I can kind of lay them out so I can see everything, you know? And then on top of it, it's got these two like attached cabinets, and one side has my foundations and one side has all of my like cheek face palettes. And I first of all, I have a very bad habit of literally never ever remembering to like open that little cabinet and use one of those. Like I rarely ever do, but I literally just like pulled the drawer out and I have it sitting in a different place, and it's like sitting in the most precarious position. So as I was pulling everything off from one side, I was like scoot everything over so the weight's like evenly distributed. Cool. I'm gonna start out with bronzers. I figured we'll do bronzers, blushes, highlights, and then do face palettes last because like I said, I have a really bad habit of not reaching for face palettes. So I would like to go through my singles first. And if there's things that I really like in my singles that I'm keeping, maybe if I have something that's similar in my face palettes, but like I literally don't reach for it, then I can go ahead and get rid of those because I don't reach for them. Another little kind of caveat to this whole thing is I've talked about this a ton on my channel, but within the past year or so, since about July, I want to say, of last year, 2022, I have completely changed how I do my base makeup. So basically everything but eyes, right? And I will use cream bronzer and cream blush, and then I will actually set that cream bronzer and that cream blush with powder bronzer and powder blush, and then I will use powder foundation to set down the rest of my face. So with that, I have really drastically changed the type of bronzers and blushes that I like. I used to, when I would set down my face entirely with like loose setting powder, like I would use like a damp sponge and like set my face with loose powder, so I was set, like I wasn't going anywhere, which is wild because like I am very set now, but like I don't know how I did it for so many years, to be honest with you. But with that being said, when you set a cream product with a colored powder product, it's going to intensify how pigmented that product is, how thick that product is. It's really going to make it that much more pigmented and that much more thick. So, whereas before I could use more pigmented things because I was putting a powder on top of a powder, so it wasn't sticking to anything, you know, whereas now it's actually adhering to my skin in a much more better way, for lack of a better word there. So I have not decluttered my cheek products since doing that. So there's definitely going to be some products in here where I haven't used them in a long time because genuinely I tried and I was like, too pigmented, too thick, too heavy. Like I don't like this anymore. So that's going to be the main goal, is definitely getting rid of that stuff. And also just getting rid of stuff that I don't use, doesn't make me happy, and all that stuff. So let's declutter these bronzers that I've just been staring at. I don't have a ton. Oh, and by the way, I have a whole basket of Project Pan makeup. That's not included in this. That's a whole separate, that is its own entity. That's its own vanity on its own. So what's in there is not included in here. First things first, I have this L'Oreal Infallible Fresh Wear Bronzer. I've been using this a little bit more lately. I'm still not 100% convinced that I love it. It's fine. Like it's fine. We're gonna set it off to the side while I decide. It may be one of those ones where I'm just like, you know, I haven't really gotten rid of much, so I'm gonna get rid of this because I don't need all of it, you know? This is the Nabla Skin Bronzer in the shade Ambra. It's so interesting that it looks so much more pigmented in a swatch because I can rarely actually get it to show up on my face. I am gonna hold this off to the side it's gonna sit on my vanity because I have an idea with this that I want to try, because I think that it's just that it's a little hard panned, as you can see. So my finger is picking it up a lot better than the brushes. I want to see about using it with a velour puff and applying it that way. See if then I can get some pigment, because that's a very pretty bronzer. Like it applies beautifully. It's very pretty. And it's got that level of sheerness that I do really, really enjoy. So that one's going to stay for now, but it's going to actually go off to the side. And I'm going to play around with that sometime this week. And then if that doesn't work, then I am probably going to go ahead and get rid of it, just because, like I said, I don't get a lot of payoff from it because it hard panned so quickly. Like so quickly. And I'm not trying to sit here with a tape and, you know, a spoolie and all this shit. Like, no, I don't have the time for that. This is the NYX Sweet Cheeks. This is actually technically a blush, but it's in the shade So Taupe. It's like a contour that I have. I keep it because it's literally the only contour that I have. And sometimes you never know. It's good to have one. I rarely, if ever, contour, but you never know. I'm never gonna get rid of this. Like, I will repurchase this when need be. This is the Juvia's Place Bronze Duo in Light. It's got 2 shades. You can tell which one I use more than the other. This one I have a feeling I'll probably use a lot more come summertime when I have a little bit more color to my skin. This bronzer is what I'm comparing all of these bronzers to. It has the perfect amount of payoff, the perfect thin, still kind of sheer consistency. It's perfect. I don't know how to describe it other than it's literally perfect. I'm gonna go ahead and get rid of the Physicians Formula Butter Bronzer. As you can see, it's pretty much really well loved. I'm gonna get rid of this for a couple reasons. First of all, it's kind of hard panned in there. Second of all, from years of experience with butter bronzer, I'm gonna use this for probably about another month and then it's gonna shatter on me. So I'm just gonna preemptively get rid of this. And also, it's just, I swatched it right here. It's a little bit thicker, a little bit heavier than what I like now. So I find myself not reaching for it. So it's gonna go. Goodbye. This is the bronzer that I'm actually wearing on my face today. This is the Milani Baked Bronzer in the shade Dolce. This is another one that I love simply for how thin and sheer it is. Like, you can still see it on my face, obviously, especially like on my forehead and stuff, but it just has such a beautiful finish to it. Super sheer, like I said, so I definitely have to build this one up the most out of all of them, but it just looks so good on my skin. I'm not doing a very good job, am I? Look how cute it is. This is the Physicians Formula Butter Puff. I don't know. I have a feeling this is gonna be very similar to Butter Bronzer. It's just a lot warmer. No, I like that. I like that one. See, here's the thing. We're gonna see a lot more movement when it comes to blushes and highlights. That's where the real declutter is going to happen. The Lorac Tantastic Buildable Bronzing Powder in the shade Pool Party. First things first, I'm gonna tell you right now, this is a complete dupe, not shade-wise, not this shade, complete dupe for, well, I guess this would be the dupe. The Milani City Bronzer is just like the Lorac Tantastic Bronzer, like almost identical. So save your money, save your time and effort of going to a, store that sells the rock. I'm gonna take my little Fitbit, keep track of my heart off because I need my wrist. I don't know. I don't know. We're gonna put that one with the L'Oreal, and I also want to re-swatch the Butter Puff again. Okay, I lied. I'm gonna get rid of the Butter Puff, as much as it just makes me happy to open my drawer and see this little guy. It's just too, like, you can see it in the center. You're not really gonna be able to see it, I don't think, too well, but you can, like, this bottom one is Juvia's Place. Look at how thick that center one is. It's not the vibe. It's not the vibe. This is the Maybelline City Bronzer. This is in the shade 200. I already went through shade 100, which is like my actual better shade match. And I had bought both of these because I wasn't sure. This one was the one that I would use to like accentuate my bronze. I'm actually gonna go ahead and get rid of this one. It's just too deep for me to use on a everyday basis. And if I'm gonna use something like that, I'm gonna, you know? So we're gonna get rid of that one. Not me strongly considering just putting that in my project pan just so I can still see it. Maybe, because I actually set down my whole face. No, yeah, that's what we're gonna do. Listen, it's too cute. I'm gonna put this into my project pan simply because the bronzer that I have in my project pan I'm actually almost done with. And 9 times out of 10, when I do project pan makeup, it's on days that I'm not filming content, and it's on days that I'm doing my makeup faster. So I don't do the whole cream bronzer, cream blush, you know, set it down, blah, blah, blah. I literally just run a powder foundation all over my entire face, and then I use a bronzer. So this will work a lot better over a powder foundation than like directly onto unset skin. So you're gonna go into the project pan. Okay, this one I don't even need to swatch because I already know I'm getting rid of it. This is the Ulta Beauty Faux Glow Matte Bronzing Powder in the shade light to medium. Why are you like, where's the powder even coming out of? I don't understand. But yeah, as you can see, looking up close, that hard panned when I was still using powder all over my face. Like, I can literally only get bronzer out of this one little tiny space right here, and it is so just, it's thick, it's heavy, it's patchy, and it always looked muddy on my skin, so that one's definitely gonna go. Last but not least, I have the e.l.f. Primer Infused Bronzers. So I have Forever Sunkissed and then Perpetually Tan. I have a feeling what I'm gonna do. That's Perpetually Tan. That's Forever Sunkissed. That's Perpetually Tan. I'm gonna get rid of Perpetually Tan. It's too deep for me. It's too warm toned for me. And I'm gonna pull my sleeve back down because I got cold. And I'm gonna keep Perpetually Tan. So here's where we're at. I have 3 bronzers in a contour that I'm keeping, possibly 4 if you count this guy, but we're gonna see how this one goes. So I am gonna go ahead and just keep these for now. We'll see how it goes. More than likely what's gonna happen is, well, actually what is going to happen, not more than likely, what is going to happen is I am going to use this in my project pan. If I'm like, you know what, no, I don't like it, then I will probably pull in either the Lorac or the L'Oreal to use in my project pan and then just get rid of this one. But this one's gonna go into my project pan. Nabla is gonna get tested, so it's gonna go up on my vanity for right now. And then those ones are gonna get put away. So I'll put you off to the side. Okay, and then next up is blush. I'm gonna split blush though between blush and then blush toppers because those are 2 different things for me. I have them in just little stacks on my little table over here. So I know this is kind of counterintuitive considering I literally just said that I was getting rid of the 2 Physicians Formula ones because they were too light, but I am going to be keeping both of these Physicians Formula Butter blushes. So the Butter Believe It in Pink Sands. This one is very, very, very light. I actually almost decluttered this before I changed my makeup because as you can see, that looks like nothing, right? It looks lighter than my skin, right? It did nothing on a full face of powder, but setting a cream blush with this is beautiful. One of the most beautiful blushes. And then this one is in the shade, this is the Matte Manoy Butter Blush, and this one's in the shade Mauve Mattes. So I am a little bit more careful with this. I tend to avoid this top shade up here. And this one is much more pigmented. I'll get a full swatch with all of the shades. There are those two right there. You can't even see Pink Sands, but it's there. I promise you it is. It's right above it. But yeah, keeping both of them. They're really beautiful. As you can see, they actually blend in very easily. So keeping those. This one it's a little tiny guy. It's like a, I don't know, it was like a gift with purchase or something. It's one of the Tarte Amazonian Clay blushes. This one's in the shade Party. This one's actually pretty new to me, but it's again, kind of that perfect color, perfect shade, perfect thinness, sheerness, all of that it's just not overwhelming. Like, you're not going to be able to see the ones that I really like. You're barely going to be able to see them in swatches, because that's kind of the vibe that I've been going with. And then I have two, I know there's another one floating around in here somewhere, but I have two of these Ulta Beauty flushed blushes. First one right here is the shade Sweet as Honey. I don't remember how I feel about these. I remember loving them before. I don't remember how I feel about them now. They feel very dense and very thick. That one's nice. I'm gonna keep Sweet as Honey. I'm not doing a good job, am I? And then this one is Pink Smoke. This was the first one that I got. I have a feeling this one's going to be, yeah, this one's just like really thick and heavy. Did I swatch those differently or something? Like, what's going on here? Nah, you know what? I am gonna go ahead and get rid of both of them. They're just very, you know? Like, they're very thick. So you know how I said with my bronzers that the Juvia's Place bronzer was like what I was comparing everything to? This is the blush that I compare everything to. This is the LA Girl Just Blushing Blush. This is in the shade Just Natural. It's perfect, in my opinion. It's absolutely stunning and perfect, and I love it so much. It's just like, it's thin and it's sheer, and it's just like top notch, you know? So keeping that, obviously. I think it's time for this to go. It's a lot more pigmented than I go for. It's also very heavy. Yeah, it's time for this to go. It's a little bit too pigmented as well. Like, that's aggressively pigmented. On the same vein, this little Becca mineral blush in the shade Songbird. Look at how tiny and cute. This one also might be, yeah. No, that's just like, why? That's so pigmented, and like, for what? I don't need that. Also, the brand doesn't exist anymore. And then this is the AOA Perfect Blush. This is in the shade Wispy. I don't like it. It's gonna go. It's not that I don't like it, it's just, I'm not vibing with it. I haven't vibed with it in a long time. Here's another one of those Ulta Beauty Flush Blushes. I'm gonna go ahead and get rid of this one as well. And also just want to throw out there, with all of these, aside from, you know, obviously something that looks like this, these ones that look very untouched and they're relatively, are any of these relatively new to me? None of these are relatively new to me. Just kidding. If something's relatively new to me and it looks okay, I'm gonna donate it, but everything that I have decluttered so far has been very old. At least a year old, if not way longer than that. Who the fuck did I think I was? I'm not even gonna swatch it. I already know I'm getting rid of it. That one's gonna get donated because it will go on this side because it's gonna get donated. I never used it, not once. All right, this is the Essence, the blush. This is in the shade Bespoke. I have a feeling this is also going to be too much. Yeah, no. Also, the hinge is broken. I heard it crackle when I opened it. And last but not least for this little pile, and then I got a couple more to go. This is the Flower Beauty Flower Pots blush in the shade Spice Petal. This is one of my favorite blushes. Always has been. Can you tell I like a specific tone? But yeah, look at how much more sheer and thin and easy that one is. Another favorite blush. Another one that I compare everything to. This is the ColourPop Flirt Alert blush. It does have a decent amount of hard pan, but this is something I would be willing to work for, you know? But like, see, again, my favorite ones, you can't even really see on a swatch. The e.l.f. Primer Infused Blush in Always Rosy. I have Always Cheeky in my project pan. I like that one. We'll keep it. I don't have very many cool toned blushes, so I should have at least 2. And last but not least, I'm not going to swatch these because I am going to go ahead and get rid of these. These were the Essence Disney Villains collection. The packaging is just so massive. Like, why is that so big? Like, for why is that so big? They're cute. They're not the most amazing blush I've ever used in my entire life, so they're going to go. All right, that was blushes. I gotta say, this year, because I've already done a lip declutter, so this is my second declutter. I'm gonna have one a month until I've gone through my entire collection, but this year, I don't know if it's the no-buy, or if it's just that my tastes have changed so much, or what it is, but like, before I would have such a strong, like, emotional connection. I say this as I refused to declutter a bronzer because I thought the packaging was cute. Regardless, I used to have such a strong like emotional connection to some of my makeup that like I wouldn't declutter it solely because I like almost felt bad decluttering it in a weird way. I'm doing a lot better this year. A lot better. Like, I didn't declutter this Becca blush for the longest time. I really do like the blush. I did like it, especially when I would set my face down entirely with powder, but like I wouldn't declutter this last year because I was like, the brand has been discontinued and this is the last thing on earth from them, and like I can't get rid of it. And now this year I'm just like, I don't really even care about stuff like that, you know, like, oh, getting rid of something because it doesn't exist anymore, and like, so that means I'll never be able to get it again. Okay, there's other makeup out there, like, it'll be fine. So I'm very proud of myself in that regard. Blush toppers. I have 10 blush toppers. I'm gonna let you know right now, I'm gonna have a much harder time with this one. A much harder time. Because see, here's the thing, is like, I'll put on a cream. Yes, I wear 3 blushes a day. I don't even want to talk about it. I'll put on my cream blush, it'll be cute, and then I'll put on like a corresponding powder blush and it'll be cute. And then after I've set down my whole face and I'm ready to go, I'll put on a blush topper and it just transforms it. It just makes all the difference in the world, you know? It's like one of my favorite steps of makeup is the blush topper. I don't even know why I'm technically considering it to be a blush topper. Maybe it's because I'm differentiating between matte blush and glowy blush. I guess that would be the difference. But this is NARS Orgasm. Literally just got this. Well, not just. I did not purchase it this year because I'm on a no-buy. It was right around my holiday haul. I purchased like a Sephora cheek thing, and a full-size NARS Orgasm was in there, and like, that's a staple. It's a staple product, and I do actually really enjoy it. That's when I want, like, I need some more color on my cheeks, but I don't want a ton of glow. This is kind of the one that I'll reach for. I'm gonna let you know right now, I'm not getting rid of a single one of these. I have 5 Milani baked blushes. So I have Her Royal Highness Luminoso, keeping. I have the wonderful Sunset Passion, also keeping. I have the stunning bronzy Bellissimo Bronze, also keeping. I have the beautiful, soft, cool-toned Petal Primavera, also keeping. And last but not least, this one's in the old packaging. I have the much more flashy baby sister to Orgasm. This is Bella Bellini. So this one, I actually swatched it on my hand. It's got that same pink with the gold reflect, but it is so much more reflecty and gold. So when I want the more color on my cheeks, but I do want more glow, but Orgasm was kind of the shade that I was going for, I'll go for Bellissimo Bronze instead. Or next up, excuse me, Bella Bellini. Bella Bellini. All right, I got 4 more. I'm absolutely keeping this. This is technically a highlighter. 3 of the 4 that I'm about to show you are technically highlighters. This is the Nabla Skin Glazing Highlight in the shade Truth. It's perfect. It's like when I want like to look kind of sunburnt. That's what I go for. Okay, next up is actually one that I'm going to go ahead and get rid of, and I have comparison swatches on my fingers, but this is the Bare Minerals Endless Glow Highlighter in the shade Joy. So it's the one on my middle finger, sorry. Next to it is Nabla Truth. So Nabla has more color to it. Technically, yes, it is deeper, but it has more color to it. So it works better as a blush topper. This one would never work on me as a highlight. Like, it's still too deep to be a highlight. It's right down here. So I'm gonna go ahead and get rid of that one. I've had it for a very long time, so it's gonna go. And then last but not least, I have these 2 Be Perfect products that I got last year. One of them definitely keeping, I'm literally wearing it on my face today. If you can see this kind of like pinky glow that I have on my skin. It is this, listen, I don't know. Is it the Polar Vortex in Atmosphere, or is it the Atmosphere highlight in Polar Vortex? I don't know, because it says Polar Vortex on the front. It's also like stuck on there with what almost looks like a label maker. I don't know. The packaging is massive, and that's like my one thing that I don't like about it, aside from the fact that I literally like can't hold it up to the camera because it's all mirrored finish. But it's just this beautiful baked highlight, and it has the most beautiful like peachy pinky reflect to it that just looks so nice as a blush topper. I love it so much. Keeping that one. And then I am going to get rid of this one. This one is the, once again, I don't know, Be Perfect Scorched Blush in Magma. The Magma blush in Scorched, couldn't tell you. Don't know. That's what it looks like. Very orange. That bottom swatch there is what it looks like. It's just too pigmented. It's way too pigmented. That one I can't actually donate though, because that one's new to me. Wow, I didn't do a very good job on that one, but I knew that. I knew I wasn't going to. I have 17 highlights. This one is perfect. You know, like TikTok song that's like, this is perfect. This is bullshit. I could just do that with this. But no, this one is literally perfect. This is the Revlon Skin Lights highlight in the shade Daybreak Glimmer. Again, kind of going on the theme here. This is the highlight that I compare to. Like, this is that's my baseline highlighter right there. Beautiful, stunning. Also perfect. Nabla Skin Glazing Highlight. This one is in the shade Privilege. Another one that is just like so thin, so beautiful, so glowy. 10 out of 10. That one has a nice peachy reflect to it. I love a peach. This first pile that I picked up is actually pretty nice. I have 2 different ones of the Pixie by Petra. These are the Glowy Gossamer Duos. I don't think that these exist at all anymore. So let me swatch all 4 shades here, because I don't know, I may get rid of one of them. I may get rid of all of them. They're very like 2017, like in your face, thick, heavy. Yeah, it's time. This is the Flower Beauty Shimmer and Strobe Highlighting Palette. I wish that it didn't have, I wish it just cut off right there. This one also is very much like in your face, but they're very, very thin, so they don't show texture, which is what I like about them. Like the Pixie ones, you can see what's a little bit left. It still shows like a ton of texture, whereas this one, like the Flower Beauty ones are very in your face, but they don't show a lot of texture. So I appreciate that. I'm gonna keep that one for now. Also, in the way that they're like formulated, I used one of the shades very quickly, so it'll be something that'll be easy for me to actually finish and use, and I'm not hate panning it. Another example of perfection. As you can tell, I really love the Milani Baked products. This is the Milani Baked Highlight in the shade Dolce. So this one is a lot thinner and a lot more like sheer and kind of just like softly glowy, which is nice. Sometimes you just want a soft glow. I'm gonna give this one a shot. This got pushed to the very back of my like drawer, so I never saw it. So I never even really used it. This is the Wet n Wild Mega Glow Highlighting Palette Powder in the shade Bloom Time. I used to have this. I got rid of it a very long time ago, and then when I did a video last year, I had to repurchase it for that video. And I was like, wow, why did I ever get rid of this? And I would have to agree, why did I ever get rid of that? It's very pretty. Okay. This one I know for a fact I'm getting rid of. I fucking hate this highlight. This is the Milani Afterglow Strobe Light. It's so fucking just dry and thick and ugh. No. Gross. I am also going to go ahead and get rid of this. It technically kind of, I guess, should have been in the blush topper category, but it's so just like thick and no, it's too thick. And it's weird too because they literally only sold this one shade. All right, this breaks my heart, but I'm gonna get rid of this. This is easily going to be 5 or 6 years old this year. Obviously it came out in October, September, October, you know, but I'm pretty sure it came out in either 2017 or 2018. I never use it. I kept keeping it because I love the packaging, and don't get me wrong, I love the packaging. But here's my thought process, okay? Let's pick this one, for example. This is a pressed powder. So I could, in theory, spray this with rubbing alcohol, let it dry, and it would be sanitized, right? I have no way to sanitize this, so I don't know what demons have been growing inside of this loose powder container for the past 5 years. And also, why the fuck do we need 8 grams, 0.28 ounces of loose highlight? In what fucking world, bro? That's so much product. Like so much. I know for a fact there was a long period of time where I used this often. It's still pretty fucking heavy because you don't need a ton. It's very like it was a very pigmented highlight. It's gonna go. I'm so sorry. I love you, but it's time. This is the Maybelline Master Chrome highlight. This one's in the shade Molten Rose Gold. I used to have this. I think I finished it actually, or got very close to it and it broke. Either way, I had it very panned because this is actually the highlight that I used on my wedding day. And I remember it being a lot, actually less like icy pink before. It's still a very pretty highlight. Like, don't get me wrong. It's still very pretty. It doesn't like accentuate anything, which is surprising because it is definitely a thicker consistency. This is the Catrice More Than a Glow highlight in the shade Supreme Rose Beam. I used the shit out of this last year. This was like my go-to highlight last year. But like, she's thick. She's real thick. And it's very similar to Molten Rose Gold, but Molten Rose Gold has kind of just like a better finish to it. So I'm gonna go ahead and get rid of this one. Also, the packaging is breaking, as is kind of standard with older, cheaper makeup. And then last but not least, I have this Makeup Revolution Heart of a Lioness highlight. Don't ask me why I bought this. I don't have the answers for you. I'm gonna get rid of it. I never use it. It's very blasé. The About Face Light Lock Powder in the shade This Bliss, which is right here. It's like that kind of white with a like gold reflect to it. I love to pair this with a peachy highlight, like layer them together, make a nice candlelit glow situation. So I'm gonna keep that. And now I have 6 things to swatch to decide what I'm doing with these, which means I have to use both my hands. These are the NYX Born to Glow Highlighting Duos. I have 3 different ones because they're duos, and I have six fingers held up. Okay, let's start with this one right here. Out of here, About Face. Yeah, that's just too deep. That is also too deep. you can go. And last but not least, one random swatch on this side. I like that one. We'll keep that one. I'm running out of place to store the things that I'm getting rid of. Is it cheating if I say one package is one highlight if it actually has 3 highlights in it? Is that cheating? Whatever. It only takes up 1 spot in my vanity. I am going to go change my battery and get my face palettes. I'll be right back. I'm gonna start off with one that I already know that I'm gonna keep, and that is the Too Faced Natural Face Palette. I just think that this is so, so, so pretty. I especially love satin sheets and satin sheets. I'm gonna be honest with you, it's that and the smell is the majority of the reason why I keep it. But this is the Anastasia Beverly Hills Sugar Glow Kit. So I actually use this more often than not. I use this for the shade Gumdrop and to use that as a blush topper because it again has that kind of like cool, fun pink reflect to it, which makes me happy. So I'm gonna keep it for now. I don't know, I don't really reach for the rest of the highlights. I'm gonna be honest with you, if I had a Z palette, I would totally pop this out and keep it separate, but I don't, so I'm not going to. But for now, I'm gonna keep it. I have a feeling that probably when I'm done with Gumdrop, because I do really enjoy Gumdrop so much, I have a feeling that when Gumdrop's gone, I will probably get rid of that. This is actually something that I'm wearing on my face today, and that is the Disney and Ulta Beauty little face palette. So it's got 2 blushes and 2 highlights. I have Phantasmic on my cheeks, and then I mixed these 2 together as like the highlight that you see kind of like on my cheek, like the apples on my cheeks. Love it so much. It does not exist anymore, but it does make me really happy. I haven't reached for this in a really long time, and I don't know what I'm going to do with it. I keep looking up at the screen, and I'm sorry that that's just kind of how this video has been up at the, like I already know that like this whole section is a no-go. But I gotta see how some of the rest of these look. Oh yeah, no, this needs to go. It's way too pigmented, it's way too heavy. I loved it while it lasted. But even like the highlights are just really, really thick. This is relatively new to me. I have my qualms with it, but I also would love it. I have a weird relationship with it, but this is the Hourglass Ambient Lighting Edit Unlocked Butterfly Palette. I'm gonna keep it. I spent a lot of money on it. Anastasia Beverly Hills Nicole Glow Kit. Can you tell which shade I prefer? I love all of them, don't get me wrong, but Daydream is like my ride or die, absolute one of my to die for favorite highlights. I'm keeping this for sure. The BH Cosmetics Bellini Blush Palette. So I used to never be able to use Georgia Peach, and Georgia Peach has been the shade that I've been able to reach for and use the most out of everything, but like I know these very 2 bottom shades are never going to happen, but these 4 are really pretty. So I'm gonna go ahead and keep this. Lord knows I need more peach blushes. I am gonna get rid of this. This is the BH Cosmetics Mrs. Claus Tinsel Twerking Palette. It's breaking. I really only use, oh, it fully broke. Okay, well, yeah, that was like literally the only thing I used in there, and it fully broke. So goodbye. Have a good day. Nice knowing you. And then I have the BH Belgian Waffle Palettes. The bronzers are really nice. They're very nice. I know there was only one highlight shade in here that I could use, but the highlight is also, because I keep looking up because I want to see the swatches myself. That's why I keep looking up, because I'm either looking up or I'm looking down, because I can't show you and also look at them at the same time. That's the issue that we're having here in today's video, is that I keep wanting to see the swatches myself, you know? Yeah, I'm gonna keep the Belgian Waffle palette. It's very nice. Wow, I did a really bad job with face palettes for somebody who says that they don't ever reach for them. I think maybe what I need to do, especially because I've gotten rid of so much that I know I'm gonna have space in that drawer, is I need to like put a couple of them in the drawer, like on rotation, so that I see them and I'm like, oh yeah, you. Okay, and last but not least is one that is relatively new to me. I got this during the holiday haul in December. I'm gonna be honest with you, I don't reach for it a ton. I'm gonna be honest with you, I bought it for the IP. I bought it for the IP. Like, I still have a highlight on my wrist. When I was 4, a small little beagle showed up at my front door, a little beagle puppy. I don't think he was just a beagle, but he a little baby puppy boy, showed up at my front door, and my parents were like, we'll keep him. And I was like, delightful. And they were like, what do you want to name him? And I was like, Snoopy. And that little dude lived from when I was 4 until I was 21. So I have a soft spot for Snoopy. I love Snoopy. I have a Snoopy Loungefly backpack as well. Little Christmas one that actually looks very similar to this. So this is, I know I just said that I haven't been like very like emotionally attached to makeup. A lot of things. Also, the little Snoopy house came from the same collection. I know I said I haven't been very emotionally attached to makeup. This is one of those things that I am emotionally attached to. They're nice. They're nice products. I just don't reach for it a ton. I like the highlights more than I like I like the gold highlight more than I like the, why is that not showing up? Oh, it's like a almost just blue glitter. Oh, that's kind of fun though. Yeah, I like the highlight more than I like the blushes, but I definitely will not be getting rid of this. So, okay, so according to my math, I started out with 56 products and I went down to 38. So I didn't quite get rid of half, but I did get rid of a decent amount. What is 56 minus 38? 18? 18, yeah. Yeah? Why am I second guessing myself? So yeah, I got rid of 18 things. I think that that is still amazing progress. So I am going to go put all of this back in my big drawer, and then I'll take a little bit of footage of what it all looks like now. And yeah, I'll be right back. So as you saw in the clip, I ended up putting 3 of the face palettes into the drawer so that I'm seeing them and I'm actually using them a little bit more often. Not that I wasn't not using the Hourglass one, but it just fits so perfectly in that excess space, and having it there is going to kind of prevent things from sliding around, so it worked out nicely there. Also, as you saw in the video, I have everything pushed forward and there's actually a ton of space in the back. The reason for that is that drawer has no stop to it whatsoever, so if you pull too far, that whole drawer is coming out into your lap. I have had times in the past where I have pulled that drawer out to do whatever and didn't realize how far I was pulling, dropped the drawer, shattered makeup. So I try to keep everything pulled as close to the front as possible and like more spread out widthwise rather than, you know, lengthwise. It made sense in my head. But yeah, I'm very happy. I'm very proud of myself. What am I decluttering next? Shall we find out? My base products. That one should be interesting because I'm making fucking moves on using it. So we'll see how that one goes. That one may not be as crazy of a declutter, but that also could be because I may not have very much to declutter come a month from now when it's time to do that one. We'll see how that goes. If I don't have a ton in there, then I may just actually skip that one altogether. But I also do know some things in here that I should get rid of. I'm gonna do it, even if it's a shorter video. It holds me accountable. Usually I end this video by saying, these types of videos by saying, oh my god, look at how much more space I have for new shit, but I'm on a no buy. Like, I am not buying shit. I actually went into Ulta yesterday to get, what did I go in there to buy? Oh, I need a new moisturizer because I completely ran out of my moisturizer. I was sitting there in the morning like, come out. Yeah, I went in there and I like walked down the aisles. Like and mostly, honestly, I wasn't even walking down the aisle with temptation. I was walking down the aisle running through the list of, like, running through the things in my head of, like, stuff that I use frequently, like, brow gel, you know, brow pens, eyeliners, shit like that. Was running through my head going, is there anything else that I need while I'm here so I don't have to come back? But yeah, I wasn't even like tempted to buy anything. I am more than likely going to be doing a haul in the middle of the year. I'll probably order it in June, put the video up in July. Leaning towards yes. We'll see. We will see. If I do that, it's going to be one full face. Not more, not extra. We'll see how that goes. I'm leaning towards yes right now. A month from now, I could be like, yeah, no, I'm fine. You know, we'll see. As it stands right now, there are things in my Ulta favorites list that I'm like, please, I need you. But also those things could magically disappear in a month or two, and then I could be like, well, then it's fine. I don't need to buy anything, you know? I have so much to do and not a drive to do a single fucking part of it, but I should go. I should go do those things that I need to do. So I'm gonna wrap up today's video. Comment down below and let me know how you feel about declutters. Why am I talking and also trying to put my Fitbit back on? Oh, that's all technically base product too, in front of me. Didn't even realize that. I'll see you guys for a declutter in a month. Subscribe if you like declutters. Comment down below and let me know how you feel about declutters. I would love to know. Please subscribe if you have not already. It would mean the world to me. Like this video, ring the bell, do all the things. I hope that you guys have an awesome, awesome day, and I'll see you guys in my next one. Bye!